Welcome to the history of Baltimore movie theaters from 1920 to 1929. 1920. The Circle Theater opens on September 25th. The Horn Theater is rebuilt, reopening on November 25th. The Popular Theater closes. 1921. The Rivoli Theater opens on January 3rd. The Apollo Theater opens on January 8th. The Capitol Theater opens on February 5th. The Century Theater with 3,048 seats opens on May 7th. The Belnord Theater is opened by Frank Durkee on May 14th. The Roosevelt Theater opens for Afro-Americans on June 18th. The Boulevard Theater opens on October 20th. The Columbia Theater opens on November 19th. The Parkside Theater opens on December 30th. The American Theater at 941 Pennsylvania Avenue is opened for Afro-Americans. The Avenue Theater opens. The Plaza Theater became the Broadway Garden Theater. (1922). The Argonne Theater opens on January 18th. The York Theater opens on October 24th. The Metropolitan Theater opens on December 16th. The Irvington Theater opens. The Real Art Theater opens. The Douglas Theater opens for Afro-Americans. These theaters closed in 1922. (1923). The Cluster Theater opens in September. The Clover Theater opens or is first mentioned in the newspapers. The Ford Theater, which is built, starts to show movies. The Republic Theater in Annapolis is opened by Durkee Theaters. These theaters closed in 1923. 1924. The Star Theater for Afro-Americans opens on January 18th. The Pickwick Theater became the Howard Theater in March. The Crystal Theater became the Alhambra Theater. The American Theater at 941 Pennsylvania Avenue builds an air dome early in the year with 1,000 seats and closes to make room for the extension of the theater that reopened on October 17th. These theaters closed in 1924. 1925. The Lafayette Theater became an Afro-American theater. The Lincoln Theater became the Lincoln No. 1 Theater. The American Theater became the Lincoln No. 2 Theater. The Star Theater in Annapolis is opened for Afro-Americans. These theaters closed in 1925. (1926) The Old Victoria Theatre reopened as the Embassy Theatre on March 1st. The owner of the Clover Theatre is charged with indecency, according to The Sun on June 11th on page 28, column 7. The Grand Theatre reopens on September 11th. United Artists and Lowe's take over the Century Theatre on October 5th and convert the rooftop ballroom into the Valencia Theatre, which opens on December 24th as the area's first twin theatre. The Ritz Theatre opens on November 23rd. The Tacoma Theatre opens. The Argonne Theatre became the Goldfield Theatres for Afro-Americans. The Flaming Theatre became the Preston Theatre. 1927. The Avalon Theatre opens on April 16th. The State Theatre is also open on April 16th. The Stanley Theatre opens on September 23rd as one of the largest theater in Baltimore. The State Theatre in Havre de Grace opens in September. The Little Theatre opens on December 9th, showing foreign films. The Garden Theatre became the Keith's Theatre on December 26th. The Pennington Theatre is first mentioned. The Overlea Theatre in Overlea opens. The Wizard Theatre became the Majestic Theatre. The Gertrude McCoy Theatre became the Fulton Theatre. The Willow Theatre in Havre de Grace closes. 1928. The Alpha Theatre in Cantonsville opens on March 1st. The Towson Theatre in Towson also opens on March 1st. The Vilma Theatre opens on May 5th. Durkee Theatres opens the Arcade Theatre on May 18th. The Patterson Theatre opens. The Dixie and Princess Theatres closes. 1929. The Brooklyn Theatre opens. The Churchill Theatre in Churchville opens. The Broadway Garden Theatre became the Park Theatre. The Flag Theatre became the Deluxe Theatre. These theaters closed in 1929. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.